Hi, Susan. Welcome back to the program.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for having me.
I am excited to have you back because you always have such great information, and it's incredible the information I learned from your books. And you have a new book that's out called Fleeced: Unmasking Elon Musk, the Green New Deal, and the Coming Technocracy Through the Oklahoma Indian Land Scam. Could you talk a little bit about what that book is about? And then I wanted to move into the QAnon and the Sarah Gacera legislation. But can you first give us an overview, kind of what your book is about?
Sure. A few months ago, there was a landmark Supreme Court case called McGirt versus Oklahoma, in which the Supreme Court ceded half of the state of Oklahoma to Indian country. And I mean, this case was curious for a number of reasons. One is that if you know much about Indian country, and I know that you do, it's very rare for an Indian to get a legal representation, and it's even rarer for the Supreme Court just to hear any case because they only hear about 80 cases a year roughly, and most Indians do not have the wealth or the means to bring a case to a basic trial, and attorneys are likely to support the tribal council or leadership over an Indian. So the fact that this case was even brought at all was very curious. And I began to look into it, and I found, of course, a hotbed of liberal interests bringing this case forward, which involved a number of networks linking into the Obamas and the Clintons, and what they are trying to do is through this case, they are of course acquiring the land for the crown, and because Indian country, of course, is controlled by the British monarchy, and there's a long story behind that, and the book explains that. So they recovered the land for the crown. And then, as you explore further, you see how this case appears to have been manufactured by their interests, and then there's a nefarious Green New Deal that they're trying to promote, and a technocracy. And this is being promoted by Kamala Harris, AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Biden, of course. And Kamala Harris, I know that she did not perform well during the primaries, but she is a Crown agent who co-authored the I think it's the Green New, I think it's is it Equity? I don't recall the legislation offhand, but it was a Green New Deal legislation with AOC. And what that intends to do is to deindustrialize the United States. It's part of Agenda 2030. They want to eliminate cars, automobiles, and essentially confine us to techno gulags, so that we can minimize our output, our presence on the earth, and maximize their profits. So it's a kind of like an Orwellian dystopia that was hatched and coordinated by the British Crown, and I outline all of their networks in this latest book. And I also show how they are using the coronavirus to extend. They're trying to inflict. They are willfully extending the lockdown period because they want to prolong the financial distress upon the people. They're hoping to recreate the economic conditions of 2007, 2008, and they hope that if they're sufficiently successful at doing that, they will crash the economy, and then they can have a greater opportunity to ram through their Green New Deal. They're also showing, with their special interest groups, which are also linked to those who kind of promoted the coronavirus, that they are using the coronavirus as an experiment, like they're treating us as guinea pigs, where they're trying to see how isolation will impact us. If they, do one thing or another, how will we comply? And it's all laid out that this is kind of an experiment, and it's a new control system that they are rolling out. And Donald Trump has been trying to combat this agenda. He has been in favor of creating energy independence, and by propping up the oil companies and keeping energy low, like the cost of oil low, so that we can keep our cars and remain energy independent and to kind of wrestle ourselves free of this agenda. If you recall, during the Obama administration, they tried to raise the price of oil to, a really extremely exorbitant rates, and that was done to make it prohibitively expensive to own cars. So they would then move to the electric vehicles, and then to eliminate them altogether. And they want to do a similar thing with properties, where they want to, and they, meaning the liberals, want to make the cost of owning a home prohibitively expensive, so that they can drive up the cost of energy. And in so doing, it will just simply be unaffordable to own a home with taxes and high energy prices. So I talk about this coming technocracy, how Elon Musk is essentially an agent of the crown and is the public face of this technocracy, and how Donald Trump is trying to combat it. And in this book, you'll see how all of these different networks interact, and how the Green New Dealers are working hand in hand with the Black Lives Matter and other rioters who are tearing apart our country. So that's a basic summary of the book.